party video. Woo! I don't like the way that sounds. I should say it one more time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Tokyo Slow Party interview. I am Silver Teacup, and I am doing a interview today with a fabulous, amazing who has been in the Lolita game for 5 years. Independently, no help from no one. And on top of that, she is a black owned business. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for you guys to see this and meet her. And she is just an amazing, wonderful person. Let's get started. I'm just waiting for to be on so we can start this. Let me see if I can find her. For any of you who have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Yo, you guys know where the thumb up is here. Give us a thumbs up. So that way we can reach more visibility and more people can find out about the amazing world of Lolita. All right, so time to add our guest in.
Hi. Give me 1 second. It's messing up.
Hi. All right.
Oh crap! I think the shit messed up now.
Up here.
Okay. Crisis averted.
All right. Viewers, I would like to welcome our guest, the Old Base Shop, which has currently been for 5 years handmade Lolita plus size fashion. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Oh, no problem.
So I want to break down before we start. I usually cover major points, which are definition, inks, and fire.
You're gonna have to say that again.
So the 4 major topics I usually follow are definition,
Okay.
drinks, drama, and desire.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey, so I've already told the audience how long you've been in business. One thing we would like to know is how fashion.
How I got into the fashion?
Yes.
I was introduced to it by my friend, and I'm sorry. I'm not. Give me one moment. I keep getting an echo. Let me see. No, still getting. I'm so sorry about that. Getting some technical difficulties.
Okay, that's no problem.
Okay, let's try. Let's try this. So, I got into the fashion about 5 or 6 years ago because I wanted to go to an anime convention and I wanted to dress up, but I didn't want to wear a cosplay. And so that's when my then friend, Sugar Cube Princess, you might know her from my Instagram or my Tumblr, told me about Lolita, and she showed me a few pictures, and I thought, oh yeah, this is perfect for me.
That's amazing. And but what to create your own business?
Well, it started with me creating items for myself, and I really enjoy doing that. And so we would go to meetups, and I'd be wearing something that I made, and someone would say, "Oh, that's really cute. Where'd you get it?" And I would say, "I made it." And they're like, "Oh, do you sell things?" And I would say, "No." And they're like, "Oh, you should sell things." And I would get that a lot from different people. And I saw a need to have Lolita in larger sizes. So I decided, well, if larger companies aren't going to do it, I might as well. So that's what started it for me.
I plus size Lolita as well, and I always have trouble finding just anything that could accommodate my bust.
Yeah, that's a huge problem for a lot of girls.
It's so true. So, walk us through a typical work day for you.
Okay, well, um, sewing for me is a second job. I actually work from home and I take care of my grandmother, and she has Alzheimer's and she's bedridden. So I'm home a lot. I'm just home locked. And so I wanted to do something to kind of fill up my time in between taking care of her and being making clothes or making items was a big part of, oh, that's something I can do in between. And so for me, I'd wake up in the morning, I would take care of her, do like the morning session, get her ready for the day, and then I would start sewing, or I would work on a pattern on the computer, or and then in between that, then I would take care of her for lunch, and then between that I might clean the house or do some gardening or sew some more for the website, depending on if someone has bought something or if I'm working on a new project. And I just kind of do that throughout the day until the end of the day, and then I go to bed.
That's amazing, though. Like the fact that you juggle that is.
Yeah, having a smartphone helps.
What out of all of the like you've created so many dresses. Out of all the dresses, which one was your favorite?
Oh, it's my favorite dress is probably the one that sells the least. Um, I have a collection, and they're called Autumn Falls, and they are all sorts of the fall tones. So there's gonna be like navy, like a dust navy, and then chocolate brown, and then rust orange, and mustard and olive. And they have this really beautiful lace detail around the hem, and they are my absolute favorite dresses. And now fall's coming up, so I'm going to be wearing them a lot. But they're not like the most popular dresses, but they're like my favorite dress.
What usually happens. Like you could think that you do something like really thing and it's not as well received as everyone else, but as long as it's amazing to you, that's all that matters.
Definitely.
Right, so let's go. Oh, I also wanted to tell you my favorite prince of yours
Oh
was
yeah, please
definitely
do.
the
Wait, I bet I could guess.
forgotten fairy tale.
You're about to say it. Go ahead, go ahead.
I already said it.
Hmm?
Didn't hear it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, okay, you can guess.
Okay. Is it okay? I did kind of hear Forgotten Fairy Tale, and then I figured you were gonna say the bear. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
I have made so many of those dresses.
Like it's just and it's like especially considered like it's such an piece of work.
Thank you.
Like how long did it
Yeah,
take you
Forgotten Fairy
prints?
Tales. The whole the whole design for that one was a lot of fun to do because it combined a lot of my talents and a lot of my loves. So storytelling, drawing by hand, and then drawing by computer aided drafts and things. All of that went together for those three JSKs. So I really love them all, but like for sure that is the one that I don't know. I didn't think it would be that popular, but it was.
It definitely is. All right, so let's go to some of these drinks because it's not a silver teacup party without a drink. So, what's your favorite tea?
Chrysanthemum tea. Mm.
Ooh,
It's it's a flower, but it's not floral, if that makes sense. And it
I
just
get it.
reminds me of summer.
That's amazing. What's your runner up?
My runner up. That would probably be any bulb tea. I really like flowering teas. So anything that flowers.
Like anything that's like got berries. I don't know. I just love
Yeah, berries are good.
berry teas are amazing. So, you live in California, right?
I do live in California.
So, are there any places you recommend if I go to get some tea or any of the viewers?
Okay, so I feel the best place for teas in just in general would be a place called Chado's. And they have two locations in California. One of them is actually located in Little Tokyo, and the other one is located in Old Pasadena. And they have a huge selection of teas.
That's good. Is there other places that you like as well?
Mm, for for teas, Not really, unless you're counting my house. But for maybe afternoon tea, like for food, there's a place called the Marie Tea Garden, and their food is really nice, and it's not too sweet, not too savory. They have a good balance of everything.
Mm, that's good. Prefer like bag teas that are in a bag, the ones that steep.
I like loose leaf.
Mhm. All right, so like we've gone through the drinks. So now let's get into some of this drama. Let's spill the tea now. Now that we've got that tea, let's spill it.
Okay.
Explain any of the obstacles that you may have encountered when entering.
Can you say that again? I didn't get all of it.
Explain any obstacles you may have when entering the industry.
Everything. Like every step of the way is an obstacle. When it's something you've never done, every little thing you want to accomplish is just a new obstacle and you have to overcome it. Um, like the first thing about, well, how do I turn my prints into fabric? That was like an obstacle, and you have to do a lot of research for that. And then how to make sure they're the right size, how to make sure all the sizes will fit the person's body correctly. That's an obstacle. Um, Sewing, having the right tools for your sewing is an obstacle. There's like so many, and you just have to tackle them one at a time. You can cross them off your list, then go to the next one and cross that off your list. And they're all obstacles. So if you like challenges, then definitely do this. Like, it's just all challenges. It's all uphill, but it's fun. It's really fun when you get to actually see your things being made and seeing people enjoying them. That makes the obstacles, um, doesn't make them less challenging, but it makes them more enjoyable because you understand what you're doing actually has some value to someone.
Can you explain any type obstacles that you as a plus size designer may have encountered?
Specifically for plus size, um, the obstacle would be, hmm, for a plus size design, it's okay, I know. It would have to do with the sizing and making sure that the print looks good on a plus size body, because I am all about inclusiveness. And so when I do a print, I want it to look good on smaller sizes and also on the larger size without having to alter it for in between those sizes. So whenever I do a print, I have to make sure that not only does it fit for the plus size body, but also fits for the medium and the very small and the extremely small, because I try and carry everybody, and it just makes it a little harder. But I think that's the one thing. Usually, when you're making the clothes, making something for a plus size person is not necessarily harder. It's just different.
Mhm. Agree. Can you also go through your manufacturing process? Because like we've spoken before, um, about how you are one of the few brands that makes their prints. So that's amazing on its own. So can you just walk us
It,
through that manufacturing process? If it's overseas, do you do it locally?
ooh, yeah, I try and stick with local just because um, smaller footprint on the world. It actually ends up being less expensive because you ship shorter period, shorter distances. And plus, just supporting your local businesses is, it's just, I don't know, I feel like that's something that you should just do. So for my manufacturing process, it normally starts off with an idea that I have for a print that I want to do. I take that print and I use my computer and I will draw that print, and then I will send that drawing to a printer, a company who will print it onto fabric, and the one I use is in California. And then from there, they will ship the fabric back. They will ship fabric to me at my house, and then I will sew the garment. Um, I get my lace and my trims, all of them I get locally in downtown. And usually I try and go with natural products, so cotton, linen, anything like that, that I use for my laces. And then from making them at the home, then print out the information for shipping here at the home too, and then I will ship them to wherever they need to go.
Hmm, that's amazing. And it's like so time consuming.
It is, but again, smartphones, like this is like my clock. I turned off all of the alarms on this thing because I didn't want them going off. But like literally, I set my day on alarm, so like 8 o'clock, 3, 4, 5, and it'll say what I need to do that time of day and like what I need to get finished. So my brain, that's all I have to do is just do it. My brain has just shut off and just do
That's
whatever it
very
says.
efficient. All right. So we've hit the desire phase of the interview.
Ooh.
Where do you see your brand in 5 years?
I see my brand growing or have already being where I want it to be in 5 years. So I see more products being offered for all sizes, which would include, I want to do dresses, I want to do tights, printed tights for all sizes. I want to do kutsus. I want to do accessories. Um, so I see all that being accomplished within the 5 years, and definitely having my website up to the point where it's legit, like very very legit right now. Right now it's iffy, but I really want to get it to the point where it feels like a very customized website for the customer. So yeah, 5 years, I got a lot to do.
Do you ever plan on up the Etsy?
For Etsy, not so much, because then I'm at the mercy of Etsy. Um, and having your own website gives you more freedom to do more things. For Etsy, it's more like you're paying them to kind of do what they want you to do or sell what they want you to sell. Etsy is going to be more of a sister site where I have some runoff things, or items that are a little less expensive for those that don't have, the pockets for whatever I'm going to be selling on the site. But it's going to be very minimum from Etsy.
Hmm. All right. So, an aspiring designer. I want to accessory line, and eventually, if everything works, have a dress line. It might not be as extravagant as yours. It'll be something. What advice could you give to any of the aspiring designers out there?
Oh God. I would say, let me think. Okay. So for anybody who wants to do anything, it will not be easy, and that's the point. The harder it is to do, the more you should do it. just push through whatever it is that you have to do. Like, the hardest point is going to be when you push the most, because it's going to all be pushing. It's all work. It's every step of, nothing is going to be easy. So if it's going easy, then you're probably not working hard enough, and maybe you should step up to the next level and then work on something else.
That's up to anyone. I agree. If you don't to put like, your soul and all your energy into it, really isn't pursuing at all.
Yeah, and it
So I'm
and it
glad that
doesn't
we like
mean
have.
that you have to work day and night on on whatever it is that you want to do. It just means that when you set aside time to do or to make something, you want to make sure you're fully invested in your time, that you can spend 100% of that specific amount of time on that item. So like when I'm working on a pattern, I give myself an hour to work on that pattern. So I'm not, I don't have any distractions. I don't have like 50 tabs open. I'm not checking my phone every 5 minutes. I am working on that pattern only. And if you can work like that, you can get a lot done in a short amount of time. So you can have you can run a business and still have a social life, still be able to hang out with your friends, still be able to do other passions and things that you enjoy. Just whatever time you set aside to do it, focus on that in that time frame, and you'll get a lot done.
Yes, time management is very important. Whether you're having a business. So my last question for you, Dolby, is when people look at your brand, what do you want them to see? How do you want them to feel?
I want them to feel like maybe this is something their grandmother made with love. When you look at it, I don't want it to feel impersonal.
I know that you were a country Lolita. Well, you still are.
Yeah. uh,
And you incorporate that into everything that you create, right?
I do. Um, I actually started as like a classic Lolita when I first started wearing Lolita, and I found that I really love floral prints. I really love country prints. I really love nature prints. And so that's always going to be like my hallmark is going to be country Lolita, just because it's what I love and it reminds me of home. Because I kind of grew up in between California and Louisiana because of my dad, and so I'm very used to like the red dirt and seeing like a bunch of brown rabbits and seeing deer in the distance and having giant trees around me all the time. So my countryside and like my city side, they're always kind of like neck and neck. And so when I make my Lolita clothing, they are either gonna feel very country or they're gonna feel a little bit city. And especially when it comes to like the gothic collections that are going to be coming out, because I'm going to be doing more. I want to do more styles because I really feel right now most of my items are really going to be country and like sweet and maybe classic, but I really want to do some more gothic styles.
I do that whenever I see like your brand or I hear the name Dolbe, I always think that it is amazing, that it is a brand that any Lolita of any background, any size, any style can go to your shop and something original, unique, and form fitting for them.
Hmm. I do try and give options where no matter what size you are, you'll probably be able to fit something. So besides the back of most of the all of the JSKs, sorry, all of the JSKs and the skirts have elastic. So they can fit up to two sizes. And then for the skirts and the JSKs, you can also pick the skirt length. So if you're a very tall person or a very short person, or if you have a very long torso or a very short torso, you can pick the length of the skirt and it will fit you better. So those are options that I want to keep and never like this never going to get rid of that just to be more mainstream. I'm never going to get rid of that. And then the other thing was pockets. And right now on the website, all the JSKs and all the skirts come with a right hand pocket. And I want to later do an option where you can have two pockets, one on both sides instead of just one on the right hand side.
Oh my god. That's amazing of you. Pockets alone.
Not enough. Maybe I'll just do a whole JSK that's just pockets. I mean, I'm sure it'll sell. Just 100 pockets.
You could do like a pocket book print with pockets.
Ooh, I think you just gave me an idea for a JSK. Pocketbooks.
Well, that means you have to
Yeah, it
send
would
me
be
one
like
that's
a
made
bunch
if
of
you
pictures
actually
of
do
like
that.
book covers, but they're really pockets. Mm-hmm.
All right, that is our interview. Thank you so much, Delve, for this taking the time you're busy to sit and talk with me. Thank you.
And thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
I hope you have a wonderful day. Please say goodbye to the.
Bye, guys.
And if you guys want to see any of Dolbe's stuff, go to dolbeshop.com. I said it right, right?
Yep, dolbyshop.com.
Right. Bye.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, time for after hours where we talk about real stuff. No, just, I'm just messing.
Good stuff.
What?
You, okay?